Cascade Hoops Talk, this is Billy D. Hey, we have Wednesday night top 25 action, also three major conferences in action, and also we have Sam Kohnke. He's the head men's basketball coach, Oklahoma City Stars. Buckle up, Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAIA basketball. One podcast at a time. Hey, before we get to the conference action, we were able to speak to Sam Kohnke this week. As I said, he's the head men's basketball coach, Oklahoma City Stars. He's doing very well there in the Sooner Athletic Conference. You know, he came over from Central Baptist this year, his first year in the Sooner Conference. We talked quite a bit about that. They're 5-1 in conference, and they've won 6 out of the last 7. Let's take a listen to Sam Kohnke, head coach, Oklahoma City Stars. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. I got Sam Kohnke on the line. He's the head men's basketball coach, Oklahoma City. They are the Stars. Hey, Sam, thanks for being on today.
Billy D, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you inviting me, and excited to talk hoops.
Yeah, I wanted to reach out to you. You're 5-1 in conference. You've won 6 out of 7. Kind of silently, you and I were talking just before we started, but the Sooner is, just loaded up with tough teams. All the talk around the country is about Langston and Nelson, but it's everybody. Look at Mac U beat Langston the other day. Just talk about what a war this Sooner is for you or for everybody.
No, it absolutely is. I mean, that's every team just has a lot of talented players or a lot of good coaches. It is. There are no easy nights. There are no. We got this team. We're going to run through them easy. You got to prepare. Any team could beat any other team on any given night. So you're right. It's a war every single game, and just got to do your best to prepare and just make sure you guys are ready to go and do what you can.
So Sam, when I look at your roster, it seems like I think you have a little bit of an advantage. There's very few teams across the country that have much experience. And you've got some guys that played for you at Central Baptist. You've got other guys that have played at Oklahoma City a couple of years. It's deep experience, but you had to blend some JC players with some guys from Central Baptist with some guys that were already at Oklahoma City. How is that blending gone?
It's gone really well. First off, all the guys are just really good people. Like, they're extremely coachable. They're bought in. Good attitudes. They work hard. They care about each other, care about winning. So that's made my job really easy in that regard in terms of blending, different groups and different people. But no, you're right. I think, we do have definitely an advantage. And, I have 4 guys that I brought with me who I've coached for multiple years. And then, 5 guys who I inherited who have been at OCU previously. And so, I think the way we play, continuity is pretty important. Just because we are kind of, free-flowing style, I guess you could call it, offensively. And so, guys over time can learn each other's tendencies better the more they play together. So it definitely has worked in our favor thus far. And, we did kind of start a little bit rocky this year, started 2-3. But, it takes time. And we said since our opening season meeting in August, hey, we're working to play our best basketball in February and March. Mm-hmm. We're going to hit, I hope we go undefeated, but we're probably going to hit snags along the way, and we just have to keep getting better every day and, keep our eyes on the long-term goal. And so far we've been doing that. We've taken a couple bumps, but, we've been really improving, and so I'm happy about the growth that we've shown thus far.
I want to talk about a couple of your guys. You've really leaned heavy on Jonas Carlisle, Brian Alexander. Carlisle's a senior, Alexander obviously a junior. They played for you at Central Baptist. Those guys have really performed. I don't remember the 18 and 16, but minutes-wise, you're really leaning heavy on those two. Talk about those two and how important they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're very obviously very good players, very good people as well. Really good playmakers. They can create for themselves, create for others. They know how to play. So yeah, they've, we've definitely asked a lot of them, and they've stepped up to the table in that regard. But yeah, so those two guys have definitely helped a lot, and then the other guys, everyone's really contributed
Yeah,
significantly.
absolutely.
Those
Yeah.
guys, that's the thing. Everyone has a role, and a very important role, and every role is extremely important. And those two have been asked maybe to score a little bit more, but everyone has been doing their job, and if we have a program where everyone does their job, things generally end up pretty well. And like I said, we definitely haven't been perfect. We early on we had some struggles, but I think we're starting to figure it out a little bit at least.
I think a guy that jumped out at me, Sam, is Jackson Hops. He came from Fullerton, JC. He's a junior now. That's a good program. That's where Addy Gabai played. That's out at Hope. That's a tough program. He's having quite. Seems like he's having some success with you.
Yeah, Hops is awesome. So Hops actually came this past summer, came to a tryout at CDC.
Oh,
Yeah, and he did really well in the tryout, and we thought, well, man, this guy can play. This guy's got the right demeanor about him. He's athletic. He can shoot. So we had him coming to CVC, and then when we took this job, he came with me. So like you said, he just works really hard. He goes about his business in a professional manner. He can knock down shots. He can drive closeouts. He can get out in transition. He can play defense. Just a well-rounded player and a super good teammate in person. And he's earned everything. He's earned early on. If you look at his minutes to now, it's been a pretty significant uptick. And just because every day he shows up and works, and when he gets opportunities, he performs and plays hard. And so he, proud of Hops and proud of how far he's come.
yeah. Coach, two other guys I'm going to ask you about. I don't want to go through your whole roster, but you got a couple of guys who played at Oklahoma City 2 years already. They're making significant contributions. Bo Tranter, the Aussie, he's a junior, and then James Cloud as well. They've both been at OCU 2 years, right?
Yep. This is their third year at OCU. Correct.
Yeah, yeah. You got to be happy about their contributions they're making as well.
Yeah, they've been awesome.
Went through a coaching change and everything.
Yeah, no, they've been incredibly loyal to the school and the basketball program. They've been, the adjustment's been smooth and easy for them. They're just good people, good students, good teammates. Bo is just a very well-rounded basketball player. He defends, he passes, he drives, he can shoot. He really has done very well. And Cloud likewise. I mean, Cloud system was telling me the other day, he says he thinks Cloud leads our team in dunks this year. He's
Wow.
a very strong, athletic, explosive player who can really defend and slash. And so both those guys have, definitely contributed and, just been great members of this team and great teammates to everyone.
I really wanted to ask you about the conference from afar, doing what I do, everything, all the conversations around Langston and Nelson, some around Wayland Baptist. But there are a lot of teams that are playing really good basketball that doesn't seem like people are noticing. Everybody now is looking at Mid-America Christian, which you beat earlier in the year, but John Brown is playing really well. They got you there at the Abe Lemons. John Brown is very good. And then Science and Arts is really good again this year, too. Just up and down the conference. Talk about the Sooner and how tough it is.
No, it really, I mean, legitimately every single team could beat any other team on any given night. I mean, you said it, I think the last couple of years, Langston and Nelson have been, gotten a lot of national publicity for how well they've done. And this year they're right back at it again. Both teams are fantastic. And then Wayland's really, really good, and they're always competitive and good and well coached. And then, we got Tex West coming up on Thursday.
Yeah.
And, I was just looking at their roster this morning. They got, I think, like 4 or 5 Division I transfers who, played and started at Division I's. They're extremely talented. And then, you said it, John Brown, MacU, Central Christian, just a lot of Southwest Christians much improved this year.
Yes.
Like a lot of really good teams. I mean, just players everywhere. If you were to form a student athletic conference all-star team, I mean, that'd be a pretty good mid-major team if you ask me. Mid-major Division I team. So the talent is pretty crazy, and there's some really good coaches in this conference as well. So yeah, I mean, I think the approach we're taking is just day by day. Let's just get better ourselves, and When it's time to prepare for and get ready for another opponent, let's lock in and see, their strengths and weaknesses and get ready to go.
What's the transition been like for you personally? Uh, was there a big learning curve trying to understand the new conference and a whole bunch of new teams you had to learn?
Uh, I'd say a little bit. I think like I was in the AMC as a head coach for at CBC for 4 years, and
Yeah,
you kind of get a feel for certain coaches' styles. Like what kind of game we're getting into, what their strengths and weaknesses are. You get a feel for certain players. Over the year as well, you get certain play calls, and so it definitely is just every team is. We played Langston in the second round of the national tournament last year, and we played John Brown in a regular season game last year. But other than that, I don't think we've ever played any of these teams in this conference. So just yeah, getting acclimated, just learning styles. Because at the end of the day, there's a boxing quote that I love. I think it's very applicable to basketball as well. Styles make fights. So we just trying to figure out as you watch teams, just who does what well, and maybe where are the liabilities and where are the points of attack.
yeah.
So it's been fun though. It's like a puzzle.
Well, it should be. Yeah, you should be having fun. You're 5-1 in conference, but man, you have no rest before Christmas, do you? Texas. I know you can't look past one game, but Nelson's right after them.
Yeah.
And then you get a little bit of break, and then you get Langston.
Exactly. Yeah. No, this will be. We played Saturday. Excuse me. We played Thursday, Saturday, and then the game last night on Monday. And then we go to Dallas Thursday and play Thursday. Then another
Yeah.
game Saturday, and then exam week. So it's going to be. I told my assistant coaches this week, and I said this is going to be a hell week. Like we need to make sure we're on top of our class checks and our study halls and our
Yeah.
game plans and our practice plans. And if we can just make it through these next 2 weeks, then we get a little break, and then after that break, you're right back at it. We got Langston at our place on January 8th.
Well, Coach, it's good to see. It's good to see you there at 5-1, right there in the thick of it. In that Sooner, I've really been enjoying watching that race. I'm glad I got a chance to talk to you, talk a little bit of Stars basketball, and I wish you a lot of luck as you move forward here.
Thank you, Bill. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you paying attention and covering us. It's really appreciated by myself and my teammates, my team, and my staff.
Well, thank you very much. That's very kind. That's Sam Kohnke. He's the head men's basketball coach, Oklahoma City. Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot to Sam Kohnke and, of course, to Oklahoma City University. He's a great young coach. I met him when he was with Central Baptist. I met him originally in Kansas City. Really, really nice young man. And he's got a great career ahead of him. He's about ready to hit 100 wins. I think he's got one to go, and he's pretty young. Anyway, thank you, Sam. Okay, let's get going on the top 25 and the conference games last night. We'll try to get through them fairly quick. But Oklahoma Wesleyan last night, they defeated the Jinx of Southwestern 81-76. Pretty competitive game, but at the end of the day, Oklahoma Wesleyan held on. Tamaje Azugbe, 18 points. Humberto Kendish, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. The Oklahoma Wesleyan, they go to 10-1, and they will host Bethel on Saturday. That might be the game of the day on Saturday. I was trying to think about that earlier. What's a bigger game on Saturday? That is a big game. Speaking of the Threshers, they beat Sterling tonight 78-62. Albert Diarra, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Carmelo Yakubu, 19 points, 5 rebounds. They go to 8-3, and as I said, they have to travel to Oklahoma Wesleyan on Saturday. Staying with the KCAC for a moment, the Falcons of Friends, they beat Tabor last night 89-75. Owen Evans, 12 points. Randy Wolf Jr., 14 points, 2 rebounds. They're at 8-2 now, and they're going to be at McPherson. We'll talk more about McPherson in a moment on Saturday. So all three of the top 25 teams in the KCAC held serve. A couple of these, I'll show you all these scores, but I just want to talk about a couple of them. Evangel beat Ottawa Uh, we've seen this before where Evangel comes on and gets hot, and all of a sudden they're rolling, and I just have a feeling that might be happening again. McPherson is right up there at the top of the standings. You'll see that. When's the last time you heard anybody talk about McPherson? But they're knocking right on the door of the KCAC. Also, I think there's one more. Nope. Bethel and Sterling we already talked about. Let's look at the standings. You can see him. Oklahoma Wesleyan is, of course, leading the pack. Friends, McPherson, and Evangel are, along with Ottawa, are right there. Then Bethel's down there at 3-2. They got to keep winning. Go down the rest of the way. Okay, so here's your games for Saturday. A lot of good games, but a couple of them I marked. Ottawa with that loss tonight, they really need a win. Sterling needs a win. They're right now in the middle of the pack, so that'll be a pretty competitive game. It's going to have an effect on the standings. The other one, Friends and McPherson, and Bethel and Oklahoma Wesleyan. So with these teams, all of the top teams in the conference are pretty much playing each other, but Bethel and Oklahoma Wesleyan and Friends and McPherson, those are the big games in the conference. Let's jump over to the GPAC. Northwestern last night, they beat Waldorf 96-82. Oh, I know, big shocker. The leading scorer, Jesse Van Kalsbeek, 38 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And Jalen Langsy, whoa, wrong way. Jalen Langsy, 27 points, 4 rebounds. The Raiders of Northwestern, they go to 11-3, and they're going to host Midland on Saturday, and we'll talk more about Midland in just 1 second. There it is. So Dort had to go to Midland, or Dort, I'm sorry, Concordia had to go to Midland last night, and they got thumped. They made the game a little closer at the end, but this was basically a 20-point game for Midland. A big win. Amari Rahman, 19 points, 5 rebounds. Jeff Roselle III, 19 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double. Boy, I tried to upgrade that, didn't I? So Concordia, they go to 8-3, and they have to go to Sioux Center, and they're going to play Dort on Saturday. Here's the other games in the conference. I think we've talked about almost all of them. I wanted to make, Morningside was at Briarcliff. Of course, that's a crosstown rivalry. Big game. Morningside was able to beat Briarcliff over at Briarcliff. Let's look at the standings in the GPAC. Concordia and Morningside are still leading the pack. Midland is right there at 4-2. Mount Marty. You never know who's going to come up in this conference, I tell you. So Northwestern, Briarcliff, and Dort are all 3-3. So here's the key games, or here's the games coming up on Saturday. Northwestern at Midland. That's another one I could have certainly circled, because Midland's definitely on the move. Morningside is going to play Doane. I circled that one because Doane just seems to knock off whoever needs a win, and Morningside needs a win to keep pace. And Concordia, coming off the loss, they have to go to Sioux Center, which is a really tough place to play. Forget about schedules. So we got to watch that game and see if Concordia can get past Dort and stay atop the GPAC. Georgia Gwinnett, number 25 in the country, they won last night. They beat a good Tennessee Wesleyan team 85-70. They go to 10-3. Jaheim Berry, 18 points, 4 rebounds. Brazen James, 14 points, 3 steals. So as I say, they're 10-3, and they will play Marion on Tuesday. In the Appalachian Conference, Johnson held serve and beat Bluefield. CIU, they're on a roll. They continue. They beat Spartanburg Methodist. This is a game I was really paying attention to. Pikeville and Milligan. Anyway, they're both tough guy teams. Pikeville was able to get the win. Big win. Milligan now has really slipped down in the standings. Union won. I think that's the only other one I had circled there. But in this Pikeville game, Brady Bradley Bunch and Zion Blevins combined for 23 rebounds for Pikeville. 23 rebounds, those two guys. So here's the standings in the Appalachian. Of course, Pikeville's 2 games up, and they stay 2 games up. There's CIU, Tennessee Wesleyan. That's the team that lost to Georgia Gwinnett, but that was a non-conference game. And Johnson. See, these teams all held serve. So they're 2 games back. Here's the rest of the standings. And here's the games coming up on Saturday. Johnson playing Union. I don't care what Union's record is. That's going to be a challenge. Johnson needs the win. So does CIU, or Pikeville's just going to run away from them. And there's Pikeville. They have to play Tennessee Wesleyan. So those are 3 really key games for the standings in the Appalachian Conference coming up on Saturday. And in the River States, just a little bit of action. So Indiana Northwest played IU Kokomo. Of course, that was a cross-conference game. For IU Kokomo, Joseph Anand Jr., 14 points, 50. Oh, he choked me up. 14 points, 15 rebounds. Patrick Matson, 16 points, 10 rebounds. Double-doubles were wild tonight in Kokomo. Shawnee State, they're for real. That's why I wanted to put that up here. They are for real. They won this game over West Virginia Tech, who has been struggling a little bit, but they are for real. Jerry and Mayo, 14 points, 6 rebounds. Okay, that's it. You're all caught up with the top 25 and the conference action. Once again, I want to thank Sam Kohnke. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, Friday morning. And I want to say once again that I appreciate everybody who listens. And don't forget to do your Christmas shopping and be nice to your family, because it's almost Christmas and they might get you a new tie. This is Billy D. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.